everyone. Today for our 5th grade Elevate groups, we will be working on dividing unit fractions and whole numbers. So you are going to spend the first 3 minutes of the class on your introduction, specifically paying attention to how equations match models. So if we're doing 1/4 times 5, the way that I would say that to students is that we want to see 1/4 5 times, right? So this is 1/4 right here. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and that's the 5th time. We also want to model for students how multiplication is directly correlated to repeated addition. So just like the model, we have 1/4 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So 1/4 times 5 can be written as a multiplication sentence, or it can be written as an repeated addition equation, both equaling 5/4. The last thing that students will be doing today is actually multiplying that unit fraction by the whole number using the standard algorithm. So anytime we see a whole number, we can rewrite it as a fraction by putting that whole number in the numerator and putting a denominator of 1 at the bottom. So instead of 5 wholes, we are now working with 5/1. Our new equation then becomes 1/4 times 5/1. And all we need to do is multiply across. So 1 times 5 gives me 5 as my numerator. And then 4 times 1 gives me 4 as my denominator, equaling 5/4. If we wanted to simplify it, we know that this will be written as 1 and 1/4 because 5/4 is a fraction larger than 1. So depending on the work that students are familiar with from previous lessons or even previous grades, you may even be able to not explicitly teach the model. Students may be able to explain the model to the entire class or within table groups. If you ask this question of where do you see evidence of the equation in this model? So from there, we are going to jump into a 2-minute turn and talk opportunity. Ava drew this model to show 1/4 times 6. What can you tell Ava about her model? Ava's model is not correct because in one of the models we see this is 1/6. She was supposed to show 1/4, not 1/6. She ended up showing 1/6 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. The correct way to have drawn the model is as drawn above. So then from there, you're going to spend some time stamping the repeated addition. When we are looking at 4 times 1/3, we know that it can also be written as 1/3 4 times. Written and drawn as 1/3 4 times, right? So here's 1/3, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. As an addition sentence, 1/3 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Keeping our denominators the same and only adding our numerators, we have 4 ones. So we have a numerator of 4. Then if we want to simplify further, we know that 4/3 is a fraction that is larger than 1. So we can go ahead and write it as a mixed fraction. It's 1 and 1/3. So here's this question again that we'll be asking students. Which repeated addition equation matches the model and multiplication equation? Students should be able to come up with this based on the model that has already been provided to them. And then the last model that you are going to do is just around how students solve these types of questions procedurally, right? So 15 times 1/10, again, we are going to put that 15 as 15 over 1. And then we are just multiplying across. So 15 times 1 is 15, and 1 times 10 is 10, giving us 15 tenths, or 1 5/10, or 1.5. From there, we're going to launch students into 10-minute partner practice while you circulate to support students. And then they are going to spend about 5 minutes on the exit ticket, where for question 1, it does require them to simplify, so they'll get an extra point for the simplification. And then the other questions don't require them to simplify. So this exit ticket is a total of 5 points. And here's the scale at the bottom.